But that's pretty fucked up that you can't just get that information
Yeah,
instead of learning about Christopher Columbus.
Right.
We was taught he was a hero. Honestly, he was a pirate.
Yep.
Basically a pirate. Alright, so we here, we already know what it is. We here, you already know what it is. It's your boy Stratagee under the Streetlight Network. Sitting here chopping it up with Wells Block. You already know Astoria's finest. West side of Astoria, Queens. West side of Queens, I should say.
Yeah, shout out to we already know djStratagee, strategizing on you niggas since day one.
Since day one. That's gonna be my new plug from now on. You seen I used it earlier this week, right? Crazy. So tell the fans a little bit about yourself, man. Let them know where you come from, what you're doing, your music, how everything is translating into what we call Wells Block now.
All right. Now I mean, the name is Wells Block. You know what I mean? I'm definitely from uptown, the Bronx, but you know what I mean? I've been in Astoria for a little while, good 10 years now, so definitely my second home. You know, the music is coming together, just up and coming artists, you know, from New York City trying to do his thing. I guess, you know what I mean? No superficial story or anything to it. Just, you know what I mean? A young brother trying to do his thing, got friends on both sides of the world, so just trying to, you know what I mean, captivate, I guess, on everything, you know what I mean? The things that I go through, my environment, my losses, my wins, everything. Got a mixtape on that Piff, Well Off the Block 2. You know, you can go download it now. It's on SoundCloud too. You know, the clothing line is moving. The loyalty is low.
Yeah, I need one of them. Matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that because I need one of them loyalty is love t-shirts, hats, something. Make sure, no, the microphone will pick up. That's a high definition mic. I just let you hold it so you know, so we look official. But that's a high definition camera. It'll pick up all of our. Probably pick up Joy sitting over there in the corner sipping on Moscato. But yeah, but just this is the second time you came to Under the Streetlight Network, and as an artist, like. Do you see the avenues that are being presented to artists nowadays like it used to be? Remember back in the days when you could have a hot song or something like that, and the next thing you know, you hear it on the radio the next day? How do you feel about the industry now as an artist?
I mean, I definitely feel the outlet is still there because it's definitely happening. Actually, I think it's more frequently. You know, when you have a hot song in this club or anywhere, a certain area hear it, and you know what I mean. From there, it's taken off. You know what I mean. It's just about consistency, I believe. You feel me?
Right.
So we're trying to do our little thing with it. We still actually getting a few little looks everywhere. We've been in the trap house a couple of times.
Nice. Shout out to the trap house. Those are my Far Rockaway Padres right there.
Yeah. Shout out to Lil Boy. You already know Trap House. What's up? Shout out to Capital One Records. They had us in a couple of spots before too. Shout out to Branch. You know what I mean? Definitely the big bro. So
Drew, if he's coming back, that's powerful.
Yeah. So. Just keeping everything posted and just motivate people. That's why I'm here. You know what I mean?
And then like I said, I'm just looking at the industry for what it's worth. And you know, artists that's coming out with their new music now and that's putting together new music. You know, we're starting to see a lot of different things, a lot of different genres of music. They calling some things hip hop. They calling some things rap. How do you fit into that whole mode? Feel like you're a hip hop artist or a rap artist?
I feel I just make music. I try not to put like a limit on it or a label on it because for the most part I feel like, you know, my home base or my influence is definitely hip hop. But for the most part I try to just keep it, you know, free. You know what I mean? I could jump on anything. I try to be real versatile, so I try not to put a label on it. Just call it making music.
Just music. Right. All right. Any influence? Some of your influences in the game?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Fab, Biggie. I'm real New Yorkish, so you know what I mean. Pac too. I definitely got to shout out Pac. You know, I'm actually from Brooklyn.
That's the funniest shit. The funniest thing, not to cut off, you know, anything that we're talking about. But last week I actually did an interview with Do It All Kelly from Lords of the Underground. And the funny thing about it, he actually remembered the night that we performed with Pac.
Okay.
This was crazy. And we talking in the interview, we discussing it in the interview, and he just telling me about, yo, wasn't you the dude that handed Pac the microphone? That's like my legendary legend right there. I actually handed Pac the microphone when he got on stage to perform his new song, which was strictly for my niggas.
Okay.
This is when I was attending a historically black college in North Carolina. And then afterwards, me, Do It All, Tretch and all of us, we had actually went to a club out in Raleigh, North Carolina after the performance, but it was sick. Like, I'm a legend and not a legend at the same time, right?
Right.
But Pac, one of your biggest influences, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. You know, he set the pace, definitely a strong brother.
And that work ethic is just crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
Still music, still driving that with
Yes,
him, right?
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Right.
So influences, we got that out the way. What type of music do you listen to when you're not listening to your music?
Sheesh. I mean, I'm usually I listen to everybody. You know, I try to keep it open minded, like I said. You know, I'll kind of only lock into my zone if I'm dropping a mixtape or if I'm trying to I got a project I'm working on. I try to kind of stay focused on what I'm doing. But for the most part, I keep it open there for everybody. I like the up and coming artists. I actually like, no disrespect to the industry, but I actually like the underground stuff. I like the up and coming artists. It's real a lot of stuff that I can relate to. A lot of good music dropping. But definitely shout out to the industry too, because you know that's the big picture for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I try to keep it open there for everything.
Good. Yeah, because you got to have a different perspective when it comes to music anyway, because that's where your creativity sometimes comes from your peers, the people that are around you, not necessarily to influence you for what type of music that you're making, but it could actually give you an idea of what type of picture. Because I look at y'all, when I look at my nephews and I look at y'all as artists, I always look at y'all as like, you know, y'all painting a picture.
Right.
Because with you, Wells, a lot of times with your lyrics, you could tell that you're telling a story.
Right.
Like, it's not just allegorical and symbolism
Okay.
that you use, because you kind of quick with your lyrics,
Right.
but you use different ways of describing certain things, or you use different allegories to describe, you know, your ability to come across as an MC. And I think that's kind of like witty. I think that's very witty. I think that's something that's missing in the hip hop industry right now, where people come straight forward and they'll say something straightforward. But I like the allegory. I like the fact that you use certain things to describe other things, but they make a mention at the same time of those things. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I mean?
Uncle, what's that saying? It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Indeed so. Indeed so.
Right, so.
Like for instance, the single that you got called Alcohol. You had a single called, there was a single out called Liquor that was made by Chris Brown.
Okay.
And now you got your single out now, it's called Alcohol. And the descriptive metaphors that you use in there is something that me personally, I'm just saying this for me personally, it's something that I've been looking for in hip hop for a while, because I'm looking at, you know, the days when my moms wouldn't let us play that shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you had to basically come up with ideas and things and say things a certain way so that people wouldn't get the wrong idea. You know, we didn't say excuse my language, we didn't say pussy.
Right.
We said punani.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or we didn't say bees and hoes. We said woes, or we said chicks, or whatever. We switched it up because we wanted to make it a little bit more conducive for the audience, and so that people could identify with it. Right. But I like that part of your style. I like that capability of how you are able to interchange words and use words in a different format, different manner. So
I appreciate it.
I can see you going. I can see the direction that you're going in as an artist. I want to be an intricate part in what you're doing. So you're going to be up here if I can get them here every week at DTF, if I can get them here every week at DTF Radio or Under the Streetlight, the network, I'll have them here every week. Because I want to make sure you get the right class and you bust the right ass. You hear what I'm saying? Anybody you want to shout out? Well, you want to talk
Yeah,
about?
definitely. Like I said, I got a big shout out I want to do. Shout out to the family, GFG, we had. Shout out to
No, come there, Lo. Wait with the camera. Something, Lo. Can they see you, Lo, on the camera?
Coming out with me already, you know what I mean? Shout out to the whole story, and shout out to everybody, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Uptown. Yeah, definitely.
Uptown, you already know the hometown, the home base. Shout out to GTM, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Real Right Entertainment, everybody, you know what I mean? MLG movement. Shout out to you, Uncle djStratagee. Strategy, you know, nigga, since day one. Like I said, we just here, we trying to make it work. You already know.
And you're gonna see this interview. You'll see this interview live on Facebook.com. You'll also see this interview live on Ustream.com on my official channel, Under the Streetlight, UTSL Radio. You'll catch this interview, and you're gonna be catching some backstage moments from Under the Streetlight, the network, on my official HD webcam. Because I'm gonna start getting busy. You know what I'm saying? The radio show is one thing, but we got a webcam. We can get better than this. You feel me? And catch us every Wednesday night from 5 to 7 at DTF Radio. And go ahead, go into that SoundCloud. What can they find you on SoundCloud? Tell me
Yeah,
where
I
they
mean, you
can
can
find
find me on Wells Block Music on SoundCloud, on Facebook. You can find me on Wells Block on Instagram, Wells Block Music. You know what I mean? I'm here, GFG. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brothers, Polo Shack, YB, everybody. We here. Free Flow, he home actually. So shout out to him.
Nice. Shout out to Free Flow.
Hub.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to everybody. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Yo, love, what up? Hold it down. You already know.
No doubt, man. Big change, big things, man, going on under the street like the network. You see the microphone, you know what it means, man. You already know what it means. We the network, man. We in here, we in the building, man. Catch y'all soon, man. Under the street like the network, DJ Stratagee, man. Pew.
Wells Block.